Hey everybody, it's David coming back at you, and welcome back to the very frigid Zone 5B, the southwest suburbs of Chicago, Illinois, where we got our first snow overnight. Here where I live, we only got a dusting right off of I-80, but the temperatures are in the 20s. So I did do some winterizing over the weekend. I disconnected my water hoses from outside. I emptied my rain barrel, moved all my trees into the garage so they're going to be a little more secure. And it appears the growing season is finally over for us here in Zone 5B. So I wanted to give you guys just a quick update. I mentioned hydroponics specifically, last weekend. And I wanted to show you guys how everything was here. We do have my blood orange tree, which is the big one, and then my Meyer lemon. They are still flowering, so I'm hoping that maybe some fruit develops. This is mostly grow light bulbs on here, so it is getting the light that it needs. I do still fertilize it because now that it's inside and I want this to grow, I am giving it fertilizer to encourage that. Over here we have my pineapple pole tomatoes, and we have my honeycomb hybrid cherry tomatoes down here. Over in this side, if you can see my cucumber plants, my cucumber is flowering, and I noticed at least one female flower on that, and both of those are about almost as tall as me. And over on this side of the room, I had some extra cocoa coir, so I did start some radishes in a tray. Those sprouted up already. In here, I am trying another container variety of tomato that I hope to get sprouted. My pomegranates seem to be hanging in here with the dog water or pet water system that I adapted from Pooch's channel. And the grapes that I'm propagating still seem to be doing really, really well. Over here in the hydroponic tower that I 3D printed, I do have a cucumber going all the way to the ceiling, and you do see some female flowers. So you can see the little baby cucumber on there. That means they are female flowers. And these should be mostly female flowers on these varieties of cucumbers that I'm growing. My lettuce here has seen better days, but I have a reason for that I'll explain in 1 second. And I have another tomato that I did move over to the tower garden. So last weekend, when I talked about hydroponics, I showed this chart, but I didn't get a real close-up view of the chart. And as you can see, the chart gives you the fruit that you're growing, so in this case right here, tomato, and then it gives you the pH range of the water that tomatoes like, which is 5.5 to 6.5. And then it gives you something called EC, or a little farther down, ppm. And the EC and the ppm both relate to the nutrients that are dissolved in the water. And this is where I made my switch. So I did balance the water in my tower system. I balanced it for tomatoes or peppers, and I wasn't really thinking about my lettuces. I'm kind of new to the hydroponics game, but it turns out that lettuce prefers a slightly higher pH and a lower EC, or electrical conductivity number, which relates to the number of dissolved particles in the water. So I moved my lettuces over to my flat hydroponic system, and I adjusted the EC and the pH to suit my lettuce, and you can see how crazy the lettuce is growing. And even the smaller ones that I transferred in from my tabletop systems are doing really well. My bok choy is still doing really, really well. I had my tomato growing in this one. It had super long roots, and I moved it over here, and it is moving and growing really, really well. You see some flowers forming over there for it. Those numbers, the pH, the EC, the points per million on the dissolved particles, are really important when it comes to hydroponic gardening. And with these systems, if you use the nutrients that come with it, it's supposed to help balance out the pH. But for these systems, or with other nutrients that I use, like I have my Farmer's Secret nutrients down here. My Farmer's Secret Hydroponic Booster. It's important to check the pH of the water and then to check how many parts per million we have dissolved in our nutrient water or the EC of that water. I did show you guys my 2 meters. These are really just affordable meters. I think they were like 20 bucks on YouTube. One will tell you the pH of water. You just stick it in the water, you hold it in there for 30 seconds to a minute, and it's going to give you a pH number, and that will tell you where you need to go. Then you would use something like pH up or pH down to adjust it appropriately. And then my other meter is actually to measure the dissolved solids in the water. And this system, if you know how to calculate it, shows you points per million, and then it gives you that little symbol, which is for microsiemens, and that can be converted to give you the EC number. So it is important if you're going to grow hydroponically, other than these tabletop systems, to get some meters to read up so you know what you're doing as far as your nutrients grow, so you can see results like this. Because honestly, when I had my lettuce growing in the big system and the pH wasn't right for them, they just weren't doing very well. It can cause your plants to get kind of leggy, like this lettuce did. This lettuce actually wanted to bolt on me, which could be partially because the room is warm, but it could also be because the nutrients were off. And then hiding over here, I actually have spearmint that is doing really well in this system as well. So these things are really, really important. To get into hydroponic growing, if you want to grow over a cold winter, make sure that you read up on hydroponic growing and nutrients. Get those meters and grow. Grows. My radishes there are just growing in cocoa coir that I mixed with some perlite for drainage, just like I did for my pomegranate trees. And then I put the humidity dome on it and put it under a grow light, and they sprouted up within a week. So again, finding new ways to grow when the weather outside won't let us. I'm still busy more hydroponic devices from Hucho's website, so I'm keeping my busy and working on my plans for next summer. So thank you guys for watching. As always, hit that like button if you like my content. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I post my next videos. Share my channel so word gets out that you can grow even when it's 20 degrees outside. Thank you guys for showing up. Never stop growing. Grow a little every day. And I can't wait to see you guys back here again real soon on Come Grow with David A. Stay warm. See you guys later.